Anthony Hartwig with you. We have another basketball season preview in Coach's Corner, and we're joined by someone that is a coaching legend in the area. And I think a lot of people would probably point to Rick Gates as someone that has at least been an impact in their coaching journey if they're a young coach themselves. Coach Rick Gates, now the head coach of the girls program over at East Palestine, looking a little different, coach, but we love it. We love to see your new journey. How we doing today, coach?
I'm doing well, Anthony. Just excited to get started on my new journey and our team's new journey with the girls program at EP, and we're anxiously awaiting the season to start on Monday.
Now, you're someone that has had success on both sides of basketball. You've coached plenty of good girls programs, and we've seen you lead boys programs to success as well. Back on the girls side of East Palestine, talk about when this job opened up and what some of the things that enticed you about coming to East Palestine for this job were, and how impactful it was for you to get the job.
I think a large part of it was last spring, about 2 minutes after Tristan Reynolds saw that I resigned at Crestview. He called me on the phone. He said, "Come down to East Palestine and help me with the boys, jump in the program there." And so last spring, I went down and I had been tagging along with Tristan and his wonderful coaching staff, and did summer league with the boys with East Palestine. And then late summer, this opportunity popped up, and they talked to me about stepping in and taking over the girls program, and I was anxiously jumped in to take over that program.
And now that we have a chance to talk about kind of the first steps is obviously getting your philosophy and your culture into the program. Talk about some of the things that you wanted to establish off the bat when you got the job and you got the reins to the program. What were some things that were on your first things to do checklist of things to establish as a culture and as a philosophy?
The biggest challenge that I had initially is when I took over. I took over late in August, which was no contact period, and we had a little pizza party, get to know each other type of event, but we actually did not get started until about 2 weeks before the season was starting, because of girls being involved in volleyball and tennis and some of the fall sports. And the biggest challenge that I've had is numbers. The program, along with many girls programs, the numbers are way down, and we're just trying to build that up.
Small numbers but mighty. We know that the girls program in East Palestine is starting to build winning culture, winning attitude in the last 5-6 years, especially. Let's talk about your roster, the team, the players that you will have on the court, and the players that we'll have to know when we're covering East Palestine this year.
Sure, we have no seniors on our roster this year. We do have two juniors who come back out and did not play last year, but great athletes. Cami Kreidler is a junior that we have, and Liv Dyke is also a junior that we have. We have 5 sophomores. We have Kennedy Andre, Marley Blythe. We have Emma Ginger, Sydney Uriachi, Olivia Magnus, and we have 1 freshman, Jacqueline Ogle. So our numbers right now are just at 8. We will have no JV team. We'll play a varsity only schedule. But on the encouraging side, in our youth programs and our younger grade levels, we have great coaches, great organization with our youth programs. And, I think the program will build from here.
With no seniors, talk about the players that you're already seeing as leaders of the team that have been stepping up, especially the last couple of weeks, that are going to lead this team vocally, even though they're not seniors.
We're going to count on the 2 juniors, I think, that kind of keep us motivated and keep us going a little bit. I think Cami Kreidler is definitely fits into that role. She's the spark plug type player. She runs our point most of the time. Uh, Cami is just a phenomenal young athlete. Liv Dyke is another great basketball athletic type player uh, who maybe lacks a little bit of experience, but I think she'll just catch up so fast. So we'll rely on those two. The five sophomores we had, uh, all I think just shows so much potential. I think well, and I do see every single day they get better in practice. And our freshman Jacqueline Ogle, Jacqueline, I think has potential. Just sky is the limit for Jacqueline. She just plays hard. She's a gutsy player. She can take the ball to the hoop. She can shoot it outside. So I think, and what we've stressed is that we need all eight of them to contribute every single night in practice. And then game wise, we need that good balance. We don't have a superstar. So we need eight solid players that are all going to fill in their roles and do their strong points of the game and just lead us that way with the balance.
When you have more numbers, as a coach, you can be like, hey, well, we'll have these players develop all season, and hopefully they can be our future. We'll have these players be role players, and these will be like the core, 6 or 7 that will have a varsity. For you, it's all 8 on deck for varsity. You have to make sure, like you said, all 8 players know their role immediately and are kind of thrown into the water early. As a coach, I'm sure that's a little bit of a challenge, but also it gets you back into the coaching of basketball and teaching everything and getting everyone prepared from day one. What's that been like for you to step into a role where you got to have everyone ready, you got to have everyone on with their hands in the pile in game one? There's no room for, hey, we'll get to develop as the season goes on.
That's exactly true, Anthony. We have really had to take a step back and go fundamentals first. We spent the whole first week in working on shooting, both off the dribble, off the drive, off the catch, just a lot of fundamental type things. And that's a big difference between the boys and the girls side. Nothing against the boys basketball, but they do a little bit more on their own. The girls are so coachable and teachable that my coaching staff and myself have spent the last 3 weeks or so really teaching the game to these younger players. And they've just been a sponge and absorbing all those things that are different about the program now versus what they've had the last couple years. And they've embraced it, and they've just been so coachable.
Let's talk about your schedule inside the EOAC. Last year, this conference came down to a 3-way tie. No one could really take that step to be the champion, the outright champion. So you have a wide open conference. There's going to be competition in it. What do you see out of it, and how excited are you to get started in EOAC play?
I just, from being an outsider last year and being in the Trumbull County League mostly with the boys, I've saw this league from a distance, but I know the strength of Columbiana, Southern, and United, who were the 3 top in this league last year, and I see those 3 as the teams to beat this year. Again, Coach Chrisman with Columbiana, Coach Scrinjar with Southern, and Coach Leak with United. Those are 3 solid girls programs. They all work very hard at what they do. They've all had great off seasons. Those have to be the 3 top tier here. And then we keep telling our girls that the rest of the league, we have the shot to play competitively with. And that's kind of our motivation right now, is to, even though we're a young group, is to compete with most of our league.
Sure, you have plenty of memories of battles with United back when you were at the girls program with Crestview, back when United had their heyday in the early 2010s. Oh, that team, man.
We
That
definitely do have a lot of good memories. And Coach Chrisman at Columbiana was a boys coach for many years. And that's kind of the neat part and the fun part of being back in this league is knowing all the coaches. You know, Mike Scrinjar, I've known for years. No one works harder than Mike. Mike is involved in every level of his program, works hard. Like I said, Coach Chrisman, Coach Leak has great numbers at United, does a phenomenal job. And then you're looking at Wellsville, who has some phenomenal athletes. Coach Bugs Thompson jumps from the boys to the girls a year ago. You know, so they're being coached up well. Valley Christian, great group of athletes up there. They play hard. They're quick. They're fast. They give you a different dimension of basketball. You know, and we're looking at Lisbon and Latonia are all better than they were last year. So it's going to be a competitive league, and you know, we're battling every night in practice to get better and just be able to go and compete with all those teams.
Coach, when we talk about your non-conference schedule, where not as much on the line as far as a conference championship, but it's all about getting yourself ready for tournament and testing yourselves and sharpening the tools. Talk about the teams that pop up outside of the EOAC that you're really excited to play and excited to kind of get yourself ready for postseason with.
Yeah, we're anxious to get started. Monday and Tuesday of next week are two non-league games that will be a good test for us. We go up to Matthews on Monday night. We actually this year play Camel Memorial in a home and an away game, but Tuesday of next week we go up to Camel Memorial. We play Toronto. We'll play Western Reserve. We play Steubenville Central Catholic. Those are some of our non-league type of games, but those have to get us ready to play those league games and down the road there the tournament.
Coach, now let's talk about your staff. I know that was probably one of the first things that you thought about when you got the job. Who am I going to get to come with me and be a part of this journey? Talk about the staff that you've built through this program and the people that are behind you making it what you want it to be.
I have been blessed with just a good staff, both past and presently. And right away, Jill Baird and Jocelyn Fristig were on staff last year with Coach Franklin. And I talked to both of them right away. They were both enthused about staying with the program. So I invited them to come with us. I added Addison Glavin. Addison is super involved, was a good player. She was Addison Masher at East Palestine, was a phenomenal player, super involved with all the youth programs. She has great ties to all the families in East Palestine. And I have Jocelyn Fristig was on staff at East Palestine last year. Just gives us that. Jocelyn is a younger player who played 4 or 5 years ago and has some records on the board. She holds the 3-point record in East Palestine. So Jocelyn gives us that younger dimension. She steps in and practices when she needs to. I also added on Alexis Gates Hauser, my daughter, who has a lot of experience playing at Crestview, and then she played down at Geneva College in Beaver Falls. We have Carson Rutledge, who's helping with the high school, and she's our 7th grade coach. And we have Kevin McKinstry, who's been a junior high coach in East Palestine for a lot of years and is just a steady, stable coach who's done a great job with the kids for a lot of years.
I was hoping we'd hear Lexi's name because you talk about someone that I enjoyed watching as a fan back before YSN even started. And, I remember her in Crestview, and that's fun to see. And I'm excited to see her again as a coach now. And I hope Jocelyn's working with the shooters because no one better to teach you how to shoot than the 3-point queen of East Palestine.
Jocelyn, we keep kidding the two of the coaches. Jocelyn and Alexis both shot the 3 really well. Jocelyn, her numbers are a little better than Alexis's, so they might have to have a little competition here in practice one of these nights. But
oh my gosh, Jocelyn if you do,
and Alexis both give us that shooting mentality, And that's just one of our key teaching points that we've tried to stress here. But it's been fun so far.
If that happens, you got to film it. Right.
That would be awesome. Yeah, we'll have to broadcast it live on YSN.
the the 3-point shootout. We'll get it. We'll get it out to you. All right, Coach.
All
We
right.
want to thank you so much for coming on, talking to this program. Congratulations on the job and getting it. And we know you're going to do great things in East Palestine. We'll be out there covering you, so we can't wait to talk to you again real soon.
Thank you very much, Anthony. You have a great season here too, covering we appreciate all that YSN does for all the local sports teams. That's just phenomenal what you guys do.
You got it, Coach.